The Devils returned home to Prudential Center off a 4-game Western trip. The Devils winning just one of those 4, but home cooking is delightful, and the Devils improved to 6-0-0 at home with an overtime victory over the Montreal Canadiens. Matt Loughlin along with Chico Resch as we recap the victory. We're joined downstairs outside the Devils dressing room by Cody Glass, who got the scoring going, and not only got the scoring going, did so early, but Cody, you did it after a 7-game absence because of an injury. But that's a way to announce your return. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We do appreciate it. This game wasn't beautiful in some ways. It was pretty in others because there was some terrific individual plays. Your assessment?
Yeah, I think it was, it was back and forth. Obviously, they get the fluky goal at the start, and, they took a couple off the goal line. So it was a very weird game, a little bit back and forth. But I felt like, we were trying to do the right things. And, sometimes, hockey's a fast sport and things happen quick. So, we'll dial it in. Hopefully get some bodies back and feel better.
Well, Cody, the other team wants to win too. And Montreal, as you know, they had some skill. But, okay, so Cody Glass is coming back. And the Devils are playing a Montreal team that's got a lot of skill. He's going to really make an impact defensively. But tell us what you're thinking. You get that break just outside the blue line, and tell us why and where you shot it. What was your thought process?
Yeah, I think I was just coming in. Obviously, it was kind of nice with both our guys bumping into each other, and I was coming down full speed.
Oh, yeah.
my first thought was just trying to get it off quick, shooting in stride, and it was his first shot of the game, so I just tried to surprise him, low, and obviously found the back of the net.
Well, it gave the Devils the lead, but then they being Montreal, strike to tie it up, and then we go into this kind of seesaw game. This morning, Sheldon Keefe said that because yesterday it looked like Connor Brown would be in the lineup, and you might have needed a little bit more time. He said kind of roles were reversed this morning. Connor didn't feel as good as he thought he might. You felt better. What's the line you have to go over to feel good enough to play and convince the training staff you should be in there?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird process. Obviously, they came back from the road trip. I've been skating and kind of doing some IR skates, which is kind of tough with, not really battling. So coming into the first practice, I was kind of wearing a non-contact jersey. I felt really good. Wish I could have done contact and that kind of stuff. And, I kind of made myself available. Obviously, if, things kind of played out the way they did, I was ready to go. Obviously, I was, feeling it a little bit, but it was just one of those things where, I want to play. Like you said, I missed 7 games, which is brutal because, I wasn't out for that long when you think about it. But we had so many games in a short amount of time on the road, and I felt like, with our kind of schedule, I felt like I was right there, and even just playing, might just help my conscience and just kind of get my mind off the injury.
Well, Cody, everybody says, well, a team's got to play 60 minutes of good hockey. I don't see any team doing that. But I just want to ask you, when you win a game like tonight, late goal and then the overtime goal, is there something special that occurs in the feeling and togetherness of the team when you win like you do tonight?
I think so. Like you guys kind of said, it was kind of a weird game overall, chances back and forth. But I think, we didn't really lose our, swag when they went up there. I think we just stuck together. I felt like I kind of had the feeling we were going to tie it up, just because, we have the skill, we have the guys, and, our leadership did a good job. But I felt like we were going to tie it. I don't know if that was just me, but it was just a calmness on the bench, and, everybody was just kind of putting their best foot forward, and, we tied it, and then obviously let our skill guys do the skill work in overtime.
Well, that's what, Cody, championship teams, that's what they do. They think, we'll find a way to tie it, and it was a marvelous play. You just couldn't have diagrammed it. Like, Timo Meier puts the defenseman down who's fouled, can't hardly move, and then he goes to the side of the net. And so the balance with the Devils this year seems to be special. And I know you played for the Bruins, but you've come to the New Jersey Devils. Do you see something special about this group?
I think so. When I came over, obviously we had Jack injured, so I couldn't really get and Dougie was injured at the same time, so I never really got to taste the full team. And then we came in, obviously this year, and we had a really good training camp, and we got off to a hot start. And everybody was healthy, everybody was buzzing. and then injuries trying to derail some stuff. But our systems stay the same. Whoever's in the lineup, we got to play the exact same way. It doesn't matter who it is, and we're going to get healthier. Hockey's just sometimes a stupid sport because we're all skating as hard as we can at each other, hitting each other. I'm shocked more people don't get injured. So that's how the sport's played. I wish good health for everyone, but just that's not the case sometimes.
Well, you make a very good point. It is a collision sport. So, Cody, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back into the room. Enjoy this victory. We'll see you tomorrow at practice as this homestand rolls on.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cody.
Cody Glass. Speaking after the Devils win.
Yeah, and before we break, folks, you got to see the puck bounce, the puck luck. So, we talked about Timo Meier shoots it, and he hits Matheson in the leg. He goes down. He can hardly get up, okay? So now he's stumbling around, and he doesn't know what to do, but the puck goes to the left side, and Jack Hughes gets it. And, Maddie, I'm watching, and when Timo was giving us the interview, I didn't know exactly what he meant. But if you look closely, so Jack Hughes is going to shoot it. He sees Dawson Mercer in front. He shoots it about maybe a foot, 18 inches off the ice. Dawson Mercer can't get it. But you know who stopped the puck for Timo Meier? Matheson. He's the one, and that's what he was saying there. He says, well, once I saw that Matheson stopped the puck, otherwise it's going in the corner. And then Timo Meier's there to put it away. But like I said to Maddie, you can't make this up. This is a script that is unintentional, indescribable. But you know what? It happens every night, and tonight it was good because it happened for the Devils.
And they win by a score of 4-3. Let's check out some highlights, and then we'll get reaction from the Devils dressing room. Still to come, Sheldon Keefe's post-game news conference as the Devils celebrate their 10th win of the season. And things started out early on a good note for the New Jersey Devils. Cody Glass out with an injury for the last 7 games, back in tonight. In this last game he played, he scored against Toronto. Well, welcome back with a smile. Here comes Cody Glass. He scores! Welcome back to the lineup. Cody Glass, his 3rd of the year. He wrists one from the near circle over the glove of Dobish. And an early strike for the Devils as they led 1-0. You talked in the pregame show about the what would the coaches want? They want defense, or they're willing to kind of let the horses out and run.
Yeah. Can they outscore the other team?
Yeah, and the Devils did, and the horses did kind of run, but they didn't always look like thoroughbreds. It wasn't like the Kentucky Derby of games. Yes, they were up and down, but that was a bad goal that Dobish allowed. Let's be honest.
Absolutely, Maddie, and as you described later on, pucks hitting the post and players hitting pucks that are destined to be in the net. It just didn't stop all night. The unusual bounces that really dictated this game as much as some of the great plays.
Minute 6 after Glass scored to give the Devils the lead, it was Kirby Dach scoring. He's credited with the goal.
Oh, that one.
It's his 4th of the season, but it's not like he directed it goalward. There was a shot/pass, call it what you will, from the near wall by Noah Dobson. It hit Dach. He didn't redirect it. It hit him.
He's fighting off the Devil. The two players come together, and then we're watching, and we see the puck go up. And I'm watching. I'm thinking, is that going to go in the net? It went right over Markstrom's head, and it didn't go over the crossbar. It went into the net. So, again, I haven't seen a deflection like that in a long time.
So the crowd was elated. Then the crowd was disappointed because a 1-0 lead became a 1-1 game on Dach's 4th at 2:59. So 2 goals in 3 minutes. You think, well, are we going to see 7 from one team tonight? How many crazy bounces are we going to see? Well, the goal scoring abated just a bit, though the Devils did pot 4 on this night. There were some moments of brilliance. There were some great individual plays, and there's awfully young talent out there, high skill for both sides. You said 10
10. I counted them.
10 players that would be among the best in the National Hockey League in terms of individual skills, including Jack Hughes for the Devils and Cole Caulfield for the Montreal Canadiens, both coming in with 10 goals, tied for the league lead in goal scoring. Well, Caulfield tried to get a step up on Jack, but he didn't do it at even strength or on the power play. He tried to do it shorthanded. We're going to call this the play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Reverses field, comes out high, drops it off for Luke, looks around, has it on the backhand. Between the circles, he's bumped off the puck by Caulfield, who has a breakaway. Caulfield in, save, rebound. Another stop by Markstrom. Oh, my. And that is the financial or the Prudential play of the game, brought to you by Prudential, the Devils' official financial services partner. Because Caulfield's, he's a goal scorer.
Oh, man, you
and
nailed
Jacob Markstrom said no.
No, you nailed it. That was absolutely the greatest save of the night and a turning point. You are right.
And so the game was tied after one period of play. We move into period number 2. Jack Hughes tried to get a step up on Cole Caulfield. Here is Luke Hughes just following up. Oh, here's a pass up ahead. Here's Nason. It rolled off his stick. Now he centers, and it goes off the skate of Jack. He backhands one. No.
Jack thought it was going in, man.
Yes. And we all did, and we had to look at a replay to see what happened.
Yeah, a stick was adopted. Somebody's stick got in there, and Jack couldn't believe it didn't go in.
Yeah.
But that was a sign of things to come. Do you remember? Was it Dobson? It was a defenseman.
Well, and then Brett was the one who blocked the puck from going in.
That one was different. Yeah, Brett.
Dobson was the one he had stopped in the third period as the puck rolled through the crease. But this one was Jack's backhand being stopped by his teammate inadvertently.
Yeah, because he wanted to jam it in. He was right by the post, Jesper was. And you think, is Jesper going to be able to recover from that? But you're going to tell us later if he did or not.
Well, we'll find out. But first, we have to hear from the head coach.
The first one, I still don't know how it went in. And the second one, obviously, can't go in. But, yeah, I liked our game. I liked a lot about our game. And it was nice to see us, find a way to get it even and get it to overtime, get the point. And then, it's kind of flip a coin from there. But I thought we did a good job in overtime for the most part, too. So, yeah, lots to like. We got to keep getting better, though.
How big is that for Timo to get that goal there, just for him,
Timo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's a big goal. Gets us going. Lots of great goals tonight, Glass coming right back and makes his mark right away. Pally with his first, that line was really good, really important for us tonight. But yeah, good to see Timo come through.
What did you like most about that makeup of that line that you were just talking about?
2 goals helps.
Yeah, certainly.
That's a good thing. You got to watch the rest of the game back, but I thought Glass was very, very noticeable. It made a big difference. I found to our team. Just another guy skating through the middle of the ice, and you can put him out against anybody, and that really helps. With the matchups and such when you're playing a strong team like this. So that's been really good, and we really missed him when he was gone, and it's because he's kind of growing. His game is growing for me. He's growing defensively. He's growing his confidence offensively. So it's good to see. Good to see him step right in, and the goal aside, I thought he just had a strong game.
One of the things he said this morning was that he's just had to, learn to accept what his role is, right? And that he used to maybe produce a lot more in other levels. And now that he feels that he's really accepted what you're looking from him, he does have that level. Do you recognize that?
Yeah, I think, listen, some guys get drafted really high and off you go, and you never look back. Some guys, stumble and they got to kind of figure it out. And in his case, he's fought a lot of injuries. Sometimes it takes a while. And sometimes you do have to latch on to another job, another role, and get your footing in the league, get your footing on a team, and then maybe your offense starts to come back as your confidence comes and all these kind of things. There's lots of ways to make a living in this league, and he's fighting his way. And I think he'll just continue to get better. That's what I've been seeing from him.
You lose Dougie. How is he? And then maybe just a comment on how your defensive core had to stand up on this one. Do you have?
Yeah, how he is, I don't know. He'll be reevaluated or evaluated tomorrow and give us a better sense of where it's at. But yeah, it's not an easy task, and we're already down, important pieces. To play 5 guys for a little over half the game or whatever it ended up being, you're asking a lot. We got 2 young defensemen there. You got Chalowski, who is just starting to play for the first time all season. So that was a lot to ask the D-Corps. But I thought the forwards did a better job of helping out here tonight, and we need more of that going forward.
Upper body, lower body for Dougie?
Yeah, I hate these questions. Does it matter? Doesn't really matter, does it?
It could.
No, not really.
Well, then you're going to hate this one. So on the broadcast, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. They showed Pesci seemed to be wearing a cast. Is it broken hand, broken wrist for him, or is it?
Yeah, I don't know. Ask Pete these questions.
Okay.
He's going to be out. He's going to be out a while. I think I made that pretty clear. So the nature of it, that's not really relevant.
We talk a lot about Palat doing the little things, but tonight he gets rewarded. Just what did you like from him?
Palat?
Yeah.
It's great to see him get a goal, work. But I thought the rest of his game, he's just working hard and does what he does. It's good to see him get rewarded. He's an important guy for our team. It's good to see him contribute offensively, but he does a lot of other little things that don't always show up. But he's going to get a little more time with the puck and all of that, playing a little lower in the lineup, and maybe that can help grow some of the other areas of his game. But he's content to do whatever we ask him to do, and that's important when you got to find a way to make the whole team run.
And just from your vantage point, what was it that you saw from your team that had you fall behind a goal there and had to fight back?
Well, we already talked about, I think, obviously Marky's going to want that second goal back. But we make 2 mistakes. On the second and third goal, we make mistakes that allow that to happen. And, we need to get better there. I thought we did a lot of really good things, had us in position to win the game. We did a couple things on goals 2 and 3 where we make mistakes that open the door for opportunity for the opposition. And 1-goal hockey game, it's tight. You got a pesky team on the other side that, I think it was that their 10th time getting overtime this year. They hang around and find ways. So that's I didn't like how we made those mistakes, but obviously getting the points is really important, and we can keep working at our game here. Thanks.
And that is Sheldon Keefe. Reluctant, I understand, to talk about injuries. In this sport, they tend to keep them a little secret. But Dougie Hamilton didn't play since 5 minutes into the second, and Brett Pesci's out for a while.
Yeah, and I agree with Sheldon. Upper body, what does it matter? You're not finding out what really happened. Go back and look. And I like Ryan Novinsky, who asked the question, but I would have said it was mid. Then you really throw a wrench into it. I mean, you know what I mean, Maddie? If you're not going to tell us what it is, then just wait. And we eventually see the injuries, with Brett Pesci. He leaves with his left hand and still a glove and a cast. We got hit with a shot. So you find it out. But anyway, besides that, what I liked about what he said, Matt, was they didn't play perfect. And if you think you can play perfect against that skilled Montreal team, you're dreaming. But even Markey, who gave up a bad second goal, he found a way to win. And as we always say, Maddie, when that scoreboard, as Maddie and I look up at it, it says New Jersey Devils 4, and then you got the Canadian logo, that says 3. That's the bottom line.
It is. At the end, you want to win, and then everything else is details. And the Devils won tonight 4-3 in overtime. We left the highlights with Jack Hughes scratching his head and wondering why his teammate prevented a puck from going in the net. Jesper didn't mean it, but his stick was there, and then it deflected off his stick along the goal line and out. And then later on, it was Bratt. He was the one who had the chance and he sends it through the crease, and it goes right to the near post as we face it, and Noah Dobson was able to sweep it anxiously, and then he swept it against the post and got it out.
Well, yeah, you think of Jesper Bratt prevents a goal by trying to put the puck in. It wasn't his fault. But then in the end, he stays with it, and he ends up scoring the overtime winner. That's, for me, that's what I like about players. When the game is on the line, what do? Can you make the big play? and Jesper Bratt did.
And we'll get to that in a moment. But first, there was a chance for Andre Palat to break the 1-1 tie. Here's Cholowski in the center circle. On to Nemitz, carries it across the line, head up, shot off the outside of the net. Now a centering chance, and they score! It's the first of the year for Andre Palat, and the Devils have taken a 2-1 lead. First in 16 games for Palat, the goal coming at 8:05 of the second, and his goal is not going to, that's going to be the story.
Right.
But the secondary story was the play that Shimo Nemitz made.
Well, great point, Matty. He comes down, and he was pointed out a little bit by the coach, along with Luke Hughes. And I'm not saying, he just said they got to raise their game, right? Because we need them. So he goes down the right side, and remember, he is a right-handed shot. He shoots low, and the goalie makes a save, but the puck goes behind the goal line to the right of the net. If you're looking at the net, he doesn't stop, Matty. He goes down, picks it up, and with the Montreal defender coming on him, he said, I got to pass this back behind my back to get it to the Palat, and he does. It's a beautiful right on the tape pass, and then Palat shoots it. But again, Dovich, the goalie, instead of staying tight, he's flaring his arms, and the puck goes right through him. But good for Andre Palat. Like I said, he hadn't scored, Matty. He hit the net, and that was the key factor there, and it was a huge goal.
It was, and the Devils took a 2-1 lead with them into the dressing room. The only unfortunate part was that in that period they did lose Dougie Hamilton to injury, and we'll have to wait to hear what the status is.
Was it upper body or lower body?
Mid. I heard somebody say mid.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, I know.
It was a bad goal to start the third period, allowed by Jacob Markstrom, as Jake Evans flipped a puck on goal. Seemingly innocent play.
Yeah.
He had a little room, obviously, to put the shot on goal, but it wasn't like he was around the man. He was going wide a little bit, but the puck snuck under Jacob at 59 seconds, and the Devils found themselves in a 2-2 game.
No, you nailed it. It snuck in there. We don't know how, but it was a big goal at the time.
Yep, and so back and forth we would go. One negative would be the Devils' power play tonight, 0 for 5 and only just a handful of shots. So that's something that they want to rectify. The power play's gone a little south lately. But at any rate, as we go back and forth, and the Devils did have power play opportunities in the third, it was this Montreal Canadian team, 6-1 when trailing in the third, playing all these extra overtime and shootout games, comfortable in a tight contest. Well, they would take the lead. Newhook with a shot, save, rebound, they score. Oliver Kapanen jumped on that loose puck, and Montreal, a comeback team this year, takes a 3-2 lead. And they had a bunch of shifts in the third period where the time was extended in the Devil zone, and that was another one like that. And there was a little puck battle in the corner, right wing side, and the Devils couldn't control it to get it out. It was a lucky break, but Kapanen took advantage.
Yeah, and Newhook, who is going to come into play later in this game in the negative way, he does make a nice pass. I mean, no, he makes a shot. And if the rebound just doesn't go to Kapanen right on his backhand, it was an easy finish.
You've often said put the puck on net, look for a rebound, and whether he intended to or not, he put it on that right leg and the puck rolled to an open space, and Kapanen was there to bury it. And so the Devils down 3-2, and there was a little hush in this sellout crowd. Would they be able to keep their perfect home record? Would the malaise of the road trip continue? Would there be a loss here in downtown Newark? Well, with the goalie pulled, the Devils got a bit of a break, but they took advantage as Timo Meier came up with some late heroics. Meier with the drive. Matheson blocked it. He's down on the ice. Can't get back up on his skates. Puck rolled now towards Jack Hughes. Jack in the near circle. Wrists one on that save. Made rebound. They jam it and they score. Timo Meier. That big body in front. He gets a piece and we're tied at 3. Hadn't scored in a long time. That's his first goal in 10 games. But, it's a biggie as the Devils score at 18:53 with the extra skater on. As you pointed out at the time, the 6-on-5 became a 6-on-4.
Yes, because Timo Meier ripped the shot. Matheson is felled. And I watched him, Matt. He's got to watch the play. He finally gets up, but there's no life. There's no strength in that leg. So he kind of hobbles to the front of the net. And then Timo Meier, you know how big a body and strong he is, he goes to the corner, the back door, and Matheson not only can't handle him, but he stops the pass by Jack Hughes. That's a foot off the ice. It's going to go in the corner, but it hits Matheson's stick. And then it goes right, lays there, and then the big jam job by Myers was exactly what he needed, especially, Manny, what'd you say, 9 games he's been without?
He had gone his previous 9 without, so it's first and 10.
Oh, yeah, no, and, you know, Manny and I talked about it, and you folks are saying the same thing. Like, he plays hard. He threw some big checks. But, you know, Timo needs to score, right? I mean, if we're going to win, the Devils are going to win, he's got to be one of the guys that score, you know, under pressure when the game's on the line, and he did that tonight.
Devils with the win as they go to overtime, tied at 3. You mentioned Newhook with the shot that led to the go-ahead goal from Montreal from Kapanen. Well, Alex Newhook giveth to Montreal, and in overtime, he taketh away, and Jesper Bratt made him pay. Meier, Brett, and Nemec for the Devils. Newhook across the line. Devils recover. Puck taken away by Brett. He's in all alone. Jesper Brett, game on the line. Backhand score! Overtime game winner for Jesper Brett, and they rally for a win here, and they beat Montreal 4-3. The goal at 1:33. Jesper Bratt scoring his 5th goal of the season, and it was a sweet night after all for New Jersey.
Yeah, and for Jesper, who was working so hard, and we talked about he prevented the 1 goal going in. He and Jack were passing and making some nice plays, but nothing connecting. And then Newhook, the Newfoundlander, I don't know what he's doing. He's under pressure, and it's a 3-on-3, Maddie. You don't want to try to go through Jesper Bratt because he's going to knock it down most of the time. And then great call by you because there was drama just dripping. Because here's the thing, folks. The breakaway was from the Montreal blue line all the way down the Devils blue line all the way down into the Montreal's net. That was a long time to be saying, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? And you described it well. And it was just a glorious finish.
As the Devils win 4-3, the man with the game-winning goal and a big 2-point night, Jesper Bratt, spoke with the media after the game.
When things are going maybe not your way, no puck luck, and then all of a sudden you find a way to get a win.
Yeah, I mean, you're just always got to be patient. You never know when a chance is coming up. Doesn't matter as a team or as an individual if you've been missing a few shots or a puck hasn't really bounced your way. You just got to be ready for the next chance. You just got to wash it, move on, and do better on the next try.
Is that just to give me what you're thinking as you're bearing in there in overtime?
I mean, obviously, I just try to read kind of the goalie's depth and see what I have. I feel like I came in with a lot of speed, so I felt pretty comfortable in that situation to try to make him believe I do one thing and then just try to read what the goalie was doing.
Roger, you mentioned it a little bit before in the first answer, but how much is this a lesson in perseverance for you guys as a group when things aren't going as well as you would hope?
Yeah, you got to find ways to win every game, even if the team is having it or you're not having it or puck is bouncing your way or not. You got to find ways to win, even with your B game or C game. So, I mean, there's certain things during the game today that was really good, especially in the first period where I feel like we didn't give them a lot, and then kind of gave them some things. And, I mean, a little tough bounce on the first goal all of a sudden changed the momentum a little bit, and you just got to move on. I feel like we've been pretty confident in our system, the way we play when we play the right way, and we were just stuck with it the whole time. And, I mean, such a huge goal from Timo where we just refused to lose.
And then just as a collective group, losing Dougie, right, and that hole that it fills, and that is left, and you guys only have 5D, but that's a collective effort there. How do you feel that was sort of?
Yeah, I mean,
that's not easy.
Yeah, I mean, playing most of the game there with 5D. I mean, we're already from a couple weeks ago we lost Pesci, and then guys have to step up. Today we lose Dougie, and then other guys have to step up again. And I think those guys did a great job. They're a fast team. They forecheck a lot. They forecheck hard. So it wasn't an easy night for our 5D, but they were really sticking with it, and they were really a big part of our win today.
What does a win like this do, coming off the road trip and now starting the homestand like this?
Yeah, for sure. It's a great start. We want to be a hard team to play against in this building. We want to have a good momentum playing here, and now for the start of the season, we're all really enjoying playing in this building and playing in front of our own fans, and we have kind of so far created a tough place to win against us in, and obviously we want to continue that.
How tough is losing Dougie there in the second?
Yeah, obviously it's tough. He's such a big part of our team and such a great player that gives us so much offense. Obviously it's a tough player to lose in a game like that. But like I said before, the guys that stepped up for him did a great job.
Jesper Bratt with the game-winning goal, and conversing with the media following the game. The Devils now are hard to play against at home, something that was not the case last year. They are 6-0-0. They're the only team without a blemish at home in the NHL. Colorado entered play at 4-0-2, so having two extra session losses in Edmonton, the same 4-0-2. But the Devils perfect as they come up with the 4-3 victory. And we wait the word on Dougie Hamilton. Kind of a quick turnaround with an afternoon game against Pittsburgh on Saturday. I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on TV. Don't care to make a prediction. But the Devils' decor has been banged up, and they'll be challenged again on Saturday.
Yeah, Colton White got called up, and I'm sure that Seamus Casey feels bad because I think Dougie's going to miss one game. I'm not talking about Monday night. I don't know. But you don't miss half the game, and then, it was just a little nick. And, Matty, people don't really, okay, so the defenseman had to step up. Yeah. Was that an overwhelming burden? No. We talked that Luke Hughes played, 28 minutes?
28:56.
Almost 29. You think he didn't want to? He didn't feel good? And he didn't look any more tired at the end of the game. I'm just saying, sometimes we overdo these, how do they feel? No, these guys are pros. They're in great shape. They will step up if you give them a chance, and they want to. And I think, Maddie, again tonight, and you know it and I know it, this win in some ways is a better win than if they had just won easily 4-0 or something. Well, I really believe that.
No, the Devils did have to fight and claw for this one, coming from behind and winning in overtime by a score of 4-3. Couple of notes, and then we'll wrap up talking about the game. Nico Hischier's line, if you look at it and say, well, what did you get in points? Well, they got the big goal from Timo Meier, but it wasn't about offense all the time for that top line. They were out there against Montreal's best line, Suzuki, Caulfield, Slafkovsky, who came in with 47 points combined. They left with 47 points.
And Suzuki was on almost a record-breaking point streak. I think he had 8 points in 12 straight games.
Caulfield in 3, Slafkovsky in 4, and lots of points around.
So, Matty, it's why, I know, writers and fans and that they got to make predictions and try to break everything down, but I loved what Jesper Bratt said. He didn't have a good game. He said, no, there were some tough breaks, and if you talk to him privately, he'd probably tell you some of them what they were. But he said, that doesn't stop me from believing if I get a chance, game on the line, I could still win it. And that's exactly what he did.
4-3 the final score. Devils get ready for Pittsburgh Saturday afternoon, a matinee at Prudential Center, a game you'll hear on the Devils Hockey Network.